Why is CX so critical to business today?
Great question. It certainly is on everybody's agenda, from the C-suite right down to the frontline and even back office staff. We're all engaging in and trying to get our heads around how we can leverage customer experience. And I think maybe it's worth stepping back a bit. Let me address the question: what is it? Because that's something that everybody should know. We have a very, very simple definition, which is around basically it's how your customers feel after they've interacted with your business. That's the simple definition. So when you think about customer service is quite functional. It's less emotional, whereas customer experience is very emotional because it's, is the customer pulling his hair out? Is he delighted? Is he smiling? Is he referring you on to other people, etc.? That's what customer experience is. It really is that emotional. How do I feel after just addressing you? And I suppose one of the key things that we've noted, there was a very interesting piece of research done by Bain in New York about 6 years ago, where they interviewed 1,300 CEOs globally across a whole range of different sectors. And they asked them the question: does your business deliver an exceptional customer experience to your customers? And 80% of the CEOs agreed that they did. And they asked the same question to the customers of those companies, and only 8% of the customers agreed with that statement. So we created this 88 rule. It's a phenomenal gap when you think about it. 80% saying yes and 8% going, or sorry, was it 92% saying absolutely not?
Yeah.
And it's funny, when we backed into that a little bit, we said, why is that case? It's not like we have, every CEO around the world is misleading us. It's not. They just misunderstand what CX really is. And I think if you look at it as kind of, how I feel after I've dealt with you, that clarifies a lot. And it also raised the question, there really is a gap out there, and we need to fix that through educating CX practitioners about what it is they're actually doing. And I love your series, the customer success session. CX is very much part of that. So let me answer your question. Your question to me here was, why has CX become critical? And initially, I thought that the main reason for the significant investment by large companies globally was to do with this huge growth in customer advocacy and that particular space. And it turns out that the majority of the big enterprise companies are unfortunately investing in CX because it's been forced upon them by regulators, etc. So if you look at the financial sector, or maybe the telco sector, or utilities, there's bodies there that are forcing these banks and utilities, you've got to invest in customer. So a lot of companies are investing in the customer for the wrong reasons. They're not doing it because they are absolutely committed. And we talk a little bit about it. But the key reasons why it's so critical is that it's the only way today that you can differentiate your company against your competitors. So when you think of it, I'll use the examples of, let's say, the banking system. Most banks offer pretty much the same products, the same price points, and the same customer service to back those up. So really, the only way to truly differentiate in the world today is through customer experience. And when you think about it, the growth in advocacy. So one of the things that we have noted is that everybody's job in the world today has changed. It's not about selling your company to your customers or to prospects. Your job today is about giving your customers the most incredible experience so that they do the selling on your behalf. That's the way the world is changing. So advocacy is becoming quite significant in the world of business. And when you give customers an amazing experience, they will share that with others. And we see it in trust pilots and so on in the online world. But we also, when you think about it, just Dara, think about it yourself. The last time you went to a restaurant or you went out to the cinema to watch a movie, it was probably stimulated by somebody saying, you've got to go down and check out this new restaurant, or I had a great experience with my mobile phone company the other day, etc. These are the kind of things that actually, because they're unbiased, we react brilliantly to them. We've lost so much trust in marketing and advertising today that we are starting much more to rely on a colleague, a friend, a family member. That's just a natural thing that's been happening for years and years. And then finally, in terms of why it's critical, it's a great cost saving for companies. You know, if you are giving customers a wonderful experience, they're not contacting you with complaints or asking you for issues. So that is a simple reduction in costs. And then you also have the whole side of the employee experience. It's quite significant today. Employee experience is really driving, particularly after the pandemic. Companies are starting to really appreciate what we need to do is develop a clear purpose that aligns with not just our customers, but our employees as well. And as a marketeer, I always grew up with that saying that the customer was king. And it's something we all kind of live with. And I just got it wrong. And I've been a marketeer for nearly 30 years. And I just realized, oh my God, the staff are king. It's this kind of happy staff equals happy customer. And if you don't get that right, you won't be able to deliver great experiences. And in fact, one of the key elements when we study customer experience champions around the world, the one thing they all have in common, happy staff. You know, staff who have a purpose, staff who are given the tools to be empowered to deliver great experiences, given the training to do that kind of stuff. So, you know, they're the kind of key reasons why customer experience is growing at a phenomenal rate. I didn't even mention the reduction in churn, but you can guess, you know, that's a key challenge for many companies today is how do we hang on to our customers, give them a great experience, they will stay with you forever. And it's so there's a lot of good return on investment angles that support investment in customer experience.